Excerpts from the larger Pure Land Sutra, Part 1, Sections 1 and 2, Time and Place of the Assembly and its Audience, and Distinguished Virtues of the Bodhisattvas in the Audience. Thus have I heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying on Vulture Peak with a large company of 12,000 monks. They were all great sages. Mahayana bodhisattvas also accompanied the Buddha, including all those of this auspicious kalpa, such as Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, Bodhisattva Manjushri, and Bodhisattva Maitreya. There were also lay bodhisattvas, such as Bodhisattva Profound Thought, Bodhisattva Wisdom of Faith, Bodhisattva Emptiness, Bodhisattva Hero of the Light, Bodhisattva Superior Wisdom, Bodhisattva Banner of Wisdom, Bodhisattva Tranquil Ability, Bodhisattva Wisdom of Vows, Bodhisattva Practice of Restraint, and Bodhisattva Emancipation. Each of these bodhisattvas, following the virtues of Mahasattva Samantabhadra, is endowed with the immeasurable practices and vows of the bodhisattva path, and firmly dwells in all meritorious deeds. He freely travels in all the 10 directions and employs skillful means of liberation. He enters the treasury of the Dharma of the Buddhas and reaches the other shore. Throughout the innumerable worlds, he attains enlightenment. He attains the supreme Dharma and realizes the highest, perfect enlightenment, Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. The Buddha visits various places and preaches the Dharma in his thunderous voice. He beats the Dharma drum, blows the Dharma conch, brandishes the Dharma sword, hoists the Dharma banner, rolls the Dharma thunder, hurls the Dharma lightning, brings the Dharma rain, and bestows the Dharma gift. At all times, he awakens the world with the sound of the Dharma. His light illuminates countless Buddha lands. He unifies everything in the Buddha Dharma and thus proclaims the right teaching. Wishing to expound the Dharma, he smiles and so cures the 3 pains with various Dharma medicines. He teaches that the aspiration for enlightenment, or bodhicitta, has immeasurable merit, and by giving predictions to bodhisattvas, he enables them to attain buddhahood. He demonstrates that he passes into nirvana, but endlessly brings sentient beings to liberation. In removing their defilements, planning various routes of virtue, and attaining excellent merit, he displays wonderful and inconceivable works. Furthermore, each of the bodhisattvas in the assembly is able to visit various Buddha lands and expound teachings of the way. His manner of practice is pure and undefiled. Just as a magician, with his perfect skill, can create at will various illusions, including images of a man or a woman, so the bodhisattva, having thoroughly learned all the methods of liberation and attained serene awareness of reality, can freely teach and transform beings. He manifests himself everywhere in innumerable Buddha lands, performing acts of compassion for sentient beings, tirelessly and with diligence. He has thus obtained complete mastery of all such methods of liberation. He is thoroughly conversant with the essentials of the sutras for bodhisattvas, and, as his fame spreads everywhere, he guides sentient beings throughout the 10 directions. All Buddhas remember him and give him their protection. He has already dwelled in all the Buddha's abodes and performed all the deeds of the great sage. He proclaims the Tathagata's teachings, acts as a great master for other bodhisattvas, and, with profound samadhi and wisdom, guides multitudes of beings. With penetrating insight into the essential nature of dharmas, he discerns different aspects of living beings and closely watches over all the worlds. In making offerings to the Buddhas, he manifests transformed bodies like flashes of lightning. Having well learned the extensive wisdom of fearlessness in preaching, and having realized the illusory nature of dharmas, he destroys all the bonds of passion. He attains the samadhis of emptiness, non-form, and non-desire. For those of the middle and lower stages, he demonstrates his passing into nirvana. But in reality, he is non-active and non-acquisitive, and, being aware that dharmas in themselves neither arise nor perish, he realizes that they are of absolute equality. He has attained 100,000 samadhis and various kinds of spiritual faculties and wisdom. With the meditation of vast and universal tranquility, he enters deeply into the Dharma treasury for bodhisattvas. After attaining the Buddha garland samadhi, he proclaims and expounds all the sutras. While dwelling deep in meditation, he visualizes all the innumerable Buddhas, and in an instant visits every one of them. By elucidating and teaching the ultimate truth to sentient beings, he delivers them from the state of extreme pain, from the conditions in which suffering is so great as to prevent people from finding time for Buddhist practices, and also from the conditions in which suffering is not so great as to prevent them from doing so. Having attained the Tathagata's thorough knowledge and eloquence, he has fluent command of languages, with which he enlightens all beings. He is above all worldly affairs, and his mind, always serene, dwells on the path of liberation. This gives him complete control over all dharmas. Without being asked to do so, he becomes a good friend to each of the multitude of beings and carries their heavy karmic burdens on his back. He upholds the Tathagata's profound Dharma treasury and protects the seeds of Buddhahood so that they may continue to multiply. Having awakened great compassion for sentient beings, he kindly expounds the teaching and endows them with the Dharma eye. He blocks the paths to the three evil realms, opens the gate of virtue, and, without waiting for their request, provides beings with the Dharma. He does this for the multitude of beings, just as a dutiful son loves and respects his parents. He indeed looks upon sentient beings as his own self. With such roots of virtue, all the bodhisattvas in the assembly had reached the shore of liberation. They had acquired the Buddha's immeasurable merit and attained the sacred, pure, and inconceivable wisdom. Incalculable bodhisattvas and mahasattvas such as these assembled there all at once.